What is up? It is Midwest Raider Game Update coming up with a new video for my channel. Today I got my good friend Jimmy and we're going to be breaking it down. Hopefully we'll get to do this a lot more times together and make some videos for you, make some good content. So thank you so much for tuning in. All we love to do is talk Raiders football. We're just here, so please like, subscribe, and share. And, you know, like I said, Jimmy, and you can call me Midwest Raider, but we're definitely going to get into it today. We want to talk about all the draft picks. We want to talk about if we met the needs for the Raiders today, and we're also going to maybe talk about a little quarterback controversy at the end. So let's, stay tuned for all that. So like I said, I got Jimmy here. We're going to go over our draft today, and he's got all the stats on that. So let's get into it right away. We got a lot of material to get through. Hopefully we don't make this video too long.
Yeah.
All right, Jimmy, what do we got? We got draft pick number 1. Well, first, real quick, what do we got for, what are our needs?
So going into the draft, our needs were quarterback, cornerback, offensive tackle, and offensive guard. I think that's our major issues going into last year, pick up some depth. We'll get into that as we go through our draft picks. But I think overall, we're moving in the right direction.
All right. So you think we had overall, just started right now, pretty good draft?
I think the draft's pretty good. I'm excited to kind of see what we do with some of these players that were maybe unexpected, like, draft number 1. But I think overall we got some depth, which we much needed. And going forward, I think we're moving in the right direction.
All right. I personally was not very happy at the draft this year. We kind of differed on some of the things and we'll talk about that towards the end. But I really think it was just kind of threw me for a loop, especially the first with the tight end. I know we were probably drafting best available, which I understand that, and he was definitely one of the best available. So we're going to have kind of a hybrid tight end. It kind of threw me for a loop. I didn't think this was the best draft we've ever had, but we'll see. You never know, and that's the thing about the draft is you just never know till season kicks in or the first year even.
Yeah, so no, I completely agree. Like I said, I was here with you watching the draft, and when they announced tight end number 7 on the team, I was like, "What are we doing here? That's not the need." We have Myers out of Notre Dame, so he's very well.
Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and kick off the first hoodoo pickup. Of course, number 1.
Yep, number 1, Brock Bowers, tight end out of Georgia.
All right, and definitely it's going to be a hybrid tight end is kind of what we talked about, and I think that's what kind of settled me down after is that I didn't know he was such an athletic tight end that he's probably going to end up playing in the slot as well, which we'll talk about at the end as well because I want to talk about that whole thing with Getsy that we have a new offensive coordinator as well. So. But after I kind of processed it, we got a little bit more information, and I learned that he's more of a tight end wide receiver. He's going to be a little bit hybrid from Mayer. Mayer is an actual true tight end, in my opinion.
I agree.
I think it was a better pick, but so let's go to number 2. What do we got?
All right, number 2, we got Jackson Powers Johnson,
all right,
center/guard out of Oregon. I think this is a good pick. I like what the Raiders did when they called up our center and told him, hey, we're going to draft a center.
Yeah.
But I think this just gives us depth on the line. Obviously, he's
a little bit more.
Yeah, coming as a guard. Yeah. I think will help out tremendously. Obviously, our center is very, very good, very strong. I don't think that was an issue that we needed to work on. But it's just good to have that depth there.
Absolutely. And I totally agree. I think picking up offensive line was a great idea for the depth. And I know he's a center, but I think he's more going to be depth at center, and he's actually going to be starting probably as a guard, in my opinion. But
yeah, it'll be interesting to see the play out.
Yeah,
like I said, we picked up some good free agents. Again, we'll probably talk more of that at the end. But we got some linemen, which I think is much needed.
All right, so number 3, what do we get?
Number 3, we got offensive tackle out of Maryland, Delmar Glaze.
Okay, you think he's a starter?
I don't think he'll be a starter right off the bat. I think with what we have and the abilities that we picked up, I think he will get good rotation. He will get good playing time. And I like the fact that we're going to rotate these guys in, help protect our quarterback and, block for the running back and give our guys time to, get open downfield. So, I think he'll play.
I think it's extra depth. Yeah, I don't know if he'll start, like, especially with what he says. Who's the guy we picked up from the Bears, I think? The Whitehead or
Whitehead.
Okay, so he'll be competition, so I think they'll be battling it out a little bit, so that'll be overall good. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. All right.
Yep, I agree with that 100%. I think, that's what we want. We want some battles up front. We want the beasts up front, protect our guys,
Protect our quarterback.
get some
We
holes
definitely
open
need
for
that.
running backs. And, like I said, I think we're good. Good depth.
Yeah.
Much needed.
All right, number 4. What's up?
All right, number 4, we got cornerback out of Mississippi State, Richardson. I have a lot to say. Guy is super fast.
Okay.
I don't think he will be a starter. I think he will get playing time, kind of like our offensive line. I think that brings good depth. But I don't think he'll be a starter right out the gate unless he shows some stuff.
Maybe special teams, maybe 4-3-4 speed.
Yeah, so maybe line him up back there. Yeah, get some punt return.
Maybe a returner. Yeah, maybe a returner.
Yeah,
So we'll see.
he didn't have any interceptions going into last year, but he did have 164 tackles over the last 2 seasons. So the guy's a tackling machine. Like he's not afraid to take the brunt of those running backs coming on. Coming at you full bore. So I think it's a good pickup. Again, I think it's more of a depth move than a starter position currently. But we'll see as it plays out what they do in springtime here.
All right, we're going to number 5.
Number 5, we got inside linebacker out of Ohio State. I don't think we need a linebacker. Again, I'm going to say it. It's going to bring depth.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be great. I know last year we had a couple issues where our guys were hurt.
I think that's the reason, and that's the only reason I think we were picking up linebackers is that we just need more depth, and we did have a lot of injuries in the linebacker area. Diablo, he plays awesome, and he's one of my favorite players, but he did get hurt. He only missed a couple games, but he definitely got hurt. So the depth is probably where we need it. So I'm okay with the pick. But I don't think he'll be a starter at all. But
yeah, I agree with you there. He did have 82 tackles last year. That was only in 10 games. So again, he's not afraid to get up there and take that brunt of that hit there.
All right, number 6. What we got?
Number 6, we got the running back out of New Hampshire, Loeb.
Okay.
I think obviously coming out of the Midwest, I love the Huskers, so got to give my shout out to Abdullah there. But I think Zamir White is going to take the load.
Okay.
I think Lob could get in there, but I think he's going to be more of a returning guy. He's super fast. He's got good hands, and that's what he was doing out of Maryland. He was a punt returner, kick returner.
Oh, okay.
Had lots of good yards
Okay.
for that. So I think that's more they're going to move him, which will move Abdullah out of that, which I'm okay with.
Okay, He's getting a little older, but I still like him as a third down back. I think he's still got some wheels that can still work for us.
Yeah, good hands, like I said. So it'll be interesting to see what we do with all of our tight ends and, like I said, third downs.
All right, so then we get into our 7th round picks. We did have 2 towards the end, so what do we got for 7 round there?
So our first one that we picked up is Trey Taylor, safety out of Air Force.
Okay.
I think he's very athletic, obviously, military guy, going through the motions. He had 74 tackles, 5 for loss last year, 3 interceptions. He did hit a pick 6, so, he's looking for that ball. I don't think he'll be a starter.
Yeah,
I think he can, again, good depth there, depending on what goes on this spring and going into fall practice there.
Yeah, we do need depth in the safeties. We only really have like 3, I think, so he might see some playing time. We did have some injuries again with, the safeties, so definitely good to have some depth in the safeties and the corners.
Yeah.
And then the last one we got?
Yeah, then our last pick, we picked up cornerback out of Pittsburgh. I think he's going to be good too. Again, I don't see him being a starter right out the gate as a cornerback. I think our cornerbacks are going to do a good job. I think he will give, like I said, that good depth there. So, give our guys a break if they need it and, catch some air.
Nice.
He did have 4 interceptions. He's very mindful of the ball. Had a pick 6, 10 pass block ups. And I think he'll be good, but not necessarily a starter right out the gate.
Yeah, I agree. I did see some film on him, and he does look pretty athletic, and he definitely can make a break for the ball, which is things we need.
Yeah.
I think those are some things we were lacking. Till we picked up Jack Jones. Once we picked up Jack Jones, he really has an eye for the ball and breaking on it. And I think these guys meet those criteria where they like to break on the ball, which is huge because like I said, it's been years since we've had cornerbacks besides Charles Woodson, that can, make breaks on the balls and have good eyes for where the ball and the quarterback's going. So I'm definitely excited.
Yeah, I agree.
Some good depth there. So
yeah, we watched him, like I said, watched some of his highlights there. He's got good vision, so he's jumping, looking for that ball, knows when it's going to be thrown, where it's at. And then, like I said, if he does get that interception, we watch him return. He has an eye for the field. You can see those holes where, get some decent yards after the,
pick six was really nice. So,
yeah.
All right. So we did pick up a whole slew of undrafted free agents. I was going to let Jimmy just run through a few that kind of excited for what they could possibly do. So I'm going to let him kind of go over that real quick.
Yeah. So I'm excited about obviously all the potential there. Obviously, we want Raider people, Raider. Couple offhand, again, coming from the Midwest. I like that. Phelan Stanford. I've watched him play. I think he can make a big impact.
Where's he out of?
He's out of Nebraska.
Oh, okay.
So I think he can make a big impact. Again, not a starter necessarily. He played D-back.
Defensive back. But you think he possibly could make the team, though?
I think he can make the team.
Teamer, maybe?
Yep, I'm thinking more of a special team for him. But we shall see. Who knows what happens in the spring and going forward. So I'm super excited about him. Let's see, there's a couple other guys on here. There's just so many we picked up. Obviously, the big free agent we picked up, or one of them, is Gallup from Dallas. So I think that just adds to our receiving core, which I think is going to be phenomenal this year. I think.
Yeah. So he's definitely a free agent that we picked up, not from the draft, but he picked it coming from the Dallas Cowboys. I know he still had like a 5 or 6 year career already in the NFL, so he's looking pretty good. I'm excited because I think Gallup. He had some injuries. He tore his ACL, and that's kind of what put him out for the last year. He didn't have a very good last year's season. So I think with a new team, definitely you see people ignite when they get onto a new team, especially being behind, Devontae Adams and Jacoby Myers. He's going to have a good nucleus of receivers that he's going to be with. So I think that could definitely spark him. So if he can ignite his career, we got him on the cheap. I think it was $1 million.
Yeah, that sounds
worth
right.
Maybe something incentives up to maybe $3 million or something, or I don't know something. But it was pretty cheap for a wide receiver of his caliber, because I think he was one of their. They offered him the bag before he broke his he tore his ACL. So they offered him a lot of money, and then he just didn't produce after that because of the injury. So hopefully we'll see how healthy he is. Those types of things. I'm rooting for the guy. I hope he does make a return, and I'm excited. I'm okay with the Gallup pickup. I think that's definitely, we released Renfro, which I'm kind of upset about, but hopefully Gallup can come in here and turn things around. So with his career, not with the Raiders, but turn his career around with the Raiders and figure it out. So we'll see on that. I am excited about that.
Yeah, like I said, I agree. Picked up a lot of good free agents. Coming out of the draft, and then, like you said, I think that's a big pickup. That's going to work well with our receiving core.
All right. So overall, the whole draft, everybody we picked, you think that we met our needs, and do you think it was a pretty good draft?
I think it's a pretty good draft. I'm not saying it's the best draft we've ever had. I know I was with you, and I know everybody's like quarterback. I know we differ on that. We'll get into that in a little bit. But I think overall we did very well. I think we got depth in some key positions that we need, especially that offensive line. I think we get those guys in there, keep them, fresh. That's going to help our quarterbacks out tremendously.
The only thing I thought we were missing, I wish we would have used one pick within the draft to pick up a wide receiver. I know we have Tucker and Turner, and they're both pretty fast. They're speedsters, but we don't have the speedster like we used to have in the past. And I know Tucker and Turner are pretty fast, but the Chiefs just picked up the Texas guy, Xavier. I think it's Xavier or something. But anyways, they picked up a speedster, and he's going to be fast. So he's going to open things up for them, just letting him run down the field and then letting, Kelsey and everybody else run in the middle. So I'm a little scared about that. But I think Jimmy said earlier, he's like, I think Jack Jones can cover him. He's like, he's going to be physical up front with him, maybe not even let him get downfield sometimes. So that's a pretty good plan, I think, of attack for that. So definitely, I'm excited, but I'm a little scared. I wish we would have picked up a receiver. I did want a quarterback as well, but of course, Falcons kind of messed that all up with picking up Penix and Bo Nix going too, and we didn't make any moves on that. I'm a little upset about that, just because I'm not quite drinking the Kool-Aid on Minshew or O'Connell. So we'll talk about that at the end. But Yeah, so I think the draft was okay, especially after I had a little bit time to process. If we would have made this video right after the draft, I would have been straight out mad. So, but yes, after processing it a little bit, we did pick up some things that are going to help the team. And, me figuring out that Bowers, he's going to be more of a hybrid tight end, being, maybe splitting them out and not such a full tight end as well, because we do pick up Getsy from the Bears. And so he doesn't really play a two tight end set. He plays more of a, three wide receiver set and one tight end, so I don't know how that's all going to work out. I do know, I just found out that he does have a connection to Davante Adams, which is good, that he actually was at Green Bay when Davante was there. So they kind of have a connection, which is always good when you're, everybody can be on the same page. So yeah, absolutely. I think that's going to work out okay for us.
Yeah, I agree. And to go back with your quarterback, we did pick up the Southern Alabama quarterback Carter Bradley in the free agency. I know he had a strong showing in the Senior Bowl, so there's potential there. Like I said, I think we got good depth. Like I said, I think the best man's going to take the job. I know our coach came out, AP said, it's O'Connor, to lose.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think it's going to be Minshew. I think he's going to be your starter, which I think is good. His numbers are really good. He doesn't turn over the ball. He makes good decisions throwing down the field. So I think he's going to get the starting job at the end of the season, or at the beginning of the season into the training here coming up.
All right. I just want to see that other quarterback that we did pack up, Anthony Brown. We picked him up from the Baltimore Ravens. He's a mobile quarterback. I think it was kind of a steal how we got him. I think he has potential too, so maybe we could see something in training camp and those things, see what he can do as well as more of a mobile quarterback. But since we're there, we're talking about quarterbacks. Let's go into this. We differ a little bit on this, but the quarterbacks we all know AP said that it's going to be between Minshew and O'Connell. It's his job to lose. And so we did pick up Minshew for a pretty price tag. We paid him some money. And so I'm kind of confused by that, because if you pay him that kind of money, you're wondering if he might start. So I'm a little confused, but in my opinion, just because of the NFL experience, I think Minshew is going to be our starting quarterback at the beginning of the season. And no disrespect to O'Connell, he definitely had a great end of the season, and he was progressing in the right direction. I don't think fast enough, in my opinion, for NFL standards, but he was progressing. I think, and he, hopefully he's working on it, but his pocket presence for me was, it drove me crazy. He would rather take a sack than try to move out of the pocket. And, I think Gardner definitely can be a little bit more mobile.
Yep, no, I completely agree with that. Pocket presence was an issue, and then just going through the regressions, like you said, when the play's called in, you know the play, you got your 1-2. After that, there was pretty much no any, movement, getting out of the pocket, or checking down a whole lot. And again, nothing against O'Connell. I think he did a good job.
Absolutely.
I still think he can be a good quarterback for us going forward. But I do think it'll be Minshew. I mean, if you look at his stats and you look at Trevor Lawrence's stats, he's better than Trevor Lawrence, and everybody knows who Trevor Lawrence is. It came out, said he was going to be the next Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, and his numbers are really good coming there, but I do think Minshew will get the start. And like I said, I think with his pocket presence and just kind of going through the regressions is what's really going to help us. So, yes, I agree. I was thinking we needed a quarterback. We wanted to draft a quarterback. Draft was filled with quarterback this year.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we didn't land one of them. But again, it's still a gamble. Like all these people come out, quarterbacks, and there's only a select few, become great. So I do think Minshew can be great. I think he's a good time management, clock management, especially with our offensive power that we have going forward. I think he will win us games in the long run, and like I said, lead us to the playoffs. And
you're calling playoffs.
I'm calling playoffs. Like I said, I don't think Denver. That's probably another story.
That's another video. Stay tuned.
Yeah, I think playoffs. I think we got a good shot. Playoffs.
I'm going to say it like I always do. I don't drink the Kool-Aid right away till I see a couple games. But I'm thinking this team, just because of last year, we could still be an 8-8 team, 9-8, 10-8, which could have got us into the playoffs last year if certain things could have happened. So it's possible, but I'm not thinking that right away, just because we have all this great depth when it comes to our offense. We have Davante Adams, we got Jacoby Myers, we're going to have this great hybrid tight end. We're going to still have Zeus in the backfield. We have weapons, absolutely, but do we have the person that can deliver the ball is the problem. And we saw that last year. And now who knows what Getsy is going to be doing? I don't even know what he's going to be doing. I don't know what the offensive coordinator, our OC, is going to be doing. So I'm kind of confused, and that's why I'm hoping to watch some preseason. Even though they're not going to show all their cards, they're going to show what they're kind of going to be doing. So I'm kind of excited for preseason this year because I never watched a Bears game too much last year, so I don't know what they do. And so we'll see. So I'm a little concerned about the OC, the quarterback, and delivering to all these weapons, because there is weapons there. And so I'm excited about the weapons, but can our quarterbacks deliver to those weapons?
See, and I'll agree with you. Yes, there's a lot to be focused on, but I think with our stellar defense, it's going to keep us in games. What do they tell you? Defenses win championships. So with our stellar defense, I think Vinci will come in and he will be able to manage the time, move the ball down the field, score. Again, we have so many offensive weapons that I think it's going to be a really good season for us. Like I said, I see playoffs in our future.
Nice. All right. So we're going to wrap this video up. Don't want to go too long. But I just want to kind of break down. We did break up some draft picks, and so we did kind of talk about how we thought certain draft picks were not going to be starters. But I kind of just want to really quick go over projected starters in our opinion so far, and we kind of went over this earlier, and we'll talk about it just a little bit. But really quick, so our defense, we definitely know. So DEs, D tackles, we're going to have Crosby, Wilkerson. We're going to have Coons and Tyree Wilson. Those are definitely going to be starters. And that's a pretty good line there. So
yeah, that's a great line.
Our linebacker core is still going to be made of Spillane, Diablo, and Masterson. I don't see any of our draft people coming in. Depth, maybe switching in and out, maybe a little bit, but those are going to be our guys, I think. So, and I'm okay with that because those are all beasts. Linebacking core. Our cornerbacks, we're still going to go with Jack Jones and Hobbs. Those guys are pretty locked down, pretty good. Jack Jones played really, really good. Hobbs plays really, really good, so I'm still excited about that. We do have some extra depth with some other players, too, that can come in and assist them. And then free safety and safety, we have Morig and Epps. We don't really have that safety. Epps is okay, in my opinion. I was really sad to see Amik Robinson leave. Strong safety could be an issue where we need more depth there, in my opinion. But
yeah, we did. Like I said, though, we did pick up that Air Force guy.
But
I think he can fill in. Like I said, I don't think he'll get the start, but I think he'll add some good depth to it for us.
All right. So pretty much with people that we already had last year that are going to be starters. So, and this is people have played together. So we definitely have a pretty strong defense because they play together. We're going to have the same defensive coordinator. So our defense is going to be, I think, pretty good.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Offensive, really quick, of course. Wide receiver on Adams is definitely going to be up there. Colton Miller, Parham. Andre James is going to be the center. Left guard, Parham, I think. Colton Miller, left tackle. Right guard and right tackle is where we're going to have some, because we have some competition now. So it's going to be between Johnson, our rookie that we picked up, Mumford, and then a Cody Whitehead we got from the Bears. So I think that's going to be competition. They're still going to have to figure that one out. I think that's definitely some competition in there. So I'm not certain on the starters there, but it's going to be one of those three people in there in for right guard and right tackle, in my opinion.
Yep, I agree. And that's a good problem to have. Get that competition. We want that Raider beast in there and moving forward.
And then tight end, we have Michael Mayer. Still going to be, or Michael Mayer, not Michael Meyer. Still going to be our tight end. That's a true tight end, in my opinion. I think Bowers is still going to be a hybrid. I don't think he's going to be a true tight end. I think we're going to be splitting him out and doing some weird stuff with him. So I think I'm almost going to consider him a little bit more wide receiver, tight end hybrid. So he'll be in there. Jacoby Myers, Davante Adams, and, Bowers. So, and then Zeus starting running back, switching third down back, Abdullah. I think Gallup's going to be mixed in there too somehow. And then our quarterback controversy, I think, is we don't know who's going to be Minshew or O'Conley.
Yeah, I think we need to wait a little bit longer, you know, see what happens as they progress going forward.
But
Again, I know we differ. I think Minshew will be able to get the job done for us. I think O'Connell will get some good, you know, time watching, learning,
yeah,
and, you know,
but you think he's going to be a starter?
I think Minshew will be the starter. Yep.
I think we both agree on that. I don't think you go out and pay Minshew that much money and you don't make him a starter. I know AP said it was, you know, O'Connell's
to
to
lose.
lose, but we'll see, man. I don't think, like I said, you pay Minshew that much money. And I think just from an experience standpoint, that I think he gives us a better chance to win. But I'm totally okay with, you know, coming in as for a backup or whatever we need. We know that we have two solid players that have been there because I did bring up a point that with Getsy coming in, they're both starting fresh, you know, from offensive, learning the books and learning the plays and stuff. So they're both starting out fresh. It's not like, you know, we have the same OC and stuff. So I think it is going to be a battle, but I think Minshew is going to be able to pull it off. And I think, honestly, Devontae might want Minshew to play over, but I don't know. I don't know. I bet they all got together and they all are rooting for each other. But I think Minshew just edges just for experience right now for the Raiders.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like I said, nothing against O'Connell.
Yeah.
He did fabulous for us last season.
He finished it out well. So
From everything we've heard so far, you know, he's progressing in the right direction. So yeah, I think you know, maybe down the line, but I do think Minshew will get that start.
Nice. All right, I think that's all we got for you today. This is Midwest Raider game update with Jimmy. Rolling. We got tons more videos coming out. Hopefully, probably next one we're gonna be talking about our schedule as well. Maybe talk about some extra things. So stay tuned, like, subscribe, and share, and stay tuned for some more content. All right.
Yeah, and as always, go Raiders.
Go Raiders. Check you later.